Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt uncomfortable, even though nobody said a word to you? Do crowded places leave you feeling completely drained while everyone else around you seems absolutely fine? Has anyone ever told you you're too emotional, too sensitive? I don't believe you're too sensitive. I believe you simply haven't yet understood what your sensitivity is for. Maybe you have never even thought about it like this, because when you understand your sensitivity differently, you can start to move through the world differently. And I realised this myself in a room full of hundreds of people. So the other day, I went to a really large event and there were hundreds of people in this auditorium. It was my daughter's graduation. And I remember sitting down and just feeling the emotion in the room. It was electric, it was static, it was full of emotions, happiness and relief. And every time someone spoke on stage, I just wanted to cry every single time. And I just kept wiping my eyes and my daughter was going, "Mum, are you okay?" She knows what I'm like. I was thinking to myself, why? Why do I feel so emotional when I'm in these places? I look around and I think, well, nobody else is crying and wiping their eyes as often as I am. But I spent a lot of time wondering, what if I wasn't actually too emotional? What if I was simply noticing something other people weren't noticing? So there are lots of different words people use for this, an empath or highly sensitive or intuitive. And in spiritual communities, you'll hear other words too. But whatever language you use, the experience can be very real. So you notice things, you pick up on changes in people, you feel the atmosphere of a room, or sometimes you sense that something isn't right before you can explain why. And when you don't understand that sensitivity, it can be overwhelming. So sensitivity without understanding becomes overwhelm, but sensitivity with understanding becomes intuition. And perhaps intuition isn't something you have to learn from somebody else. Perhaps it's something you learn to listen to from within. In fact, it is that. So I've worked with hundreds of students over my years as a teacher, and one thing I've learned is that some of the most important changes aren't academic at all. They're very subtle, like having a little more confidence, or the student being able to communicate better, or just being happier. And if you're not paying attention, you completely miss them. So right now I work with young people who have autism and complex behaviours and learning difficulties. And some of them have very little language. And one student I had hardly spoke at the beginning of the year. It was very, very quiet, was always observing, but never really kind of engaging. By the end of the year, he was talking, he was chatting, he was communicating, he was asking questions, and, it was wonderful. And he really come out of his shell. And I think about that a lot, because when someone can't always tell you what they need with words, you have to learn to notice the other things, their expressions, their body language, their behaviour, the tiny changes. You have to pay attention. And sometimes sensitivity means simply noticing what someone else needs before they can tell you. So that's something I think women often do naturally. We notice, we nurture, we respond, and that sensitivity can be incredibly powerful. Now, I'm not talking about something completely imaginary when I say that our bodies are electrical. So we know the nervous system communicates through electrical signals. We know the heart and brain produce measurable electrical activity. So it makes me wonder, are we capable of noticing more about ourselves and our environment than we consciously realise? Of course. And then there's the spiritual perspective. Many spiritual traditions describe something beyond the physical body: consciousness, spirit, life force, light. And I personally think of that as our spirit. And that's where this gets really interesting for me. Because if you're sensitive, the answer isn't to shut yourself down. It's to understand yourself, to learn what's yours and what isn't, to notice what you're feeling without automatically absorbing it. And that's where sensitivity can begin to become discernment. So this is where I think we have to bring our attention back to ourselves, because when you're sensitive, it's very easy to spend all your time noticing everyone else. what they're feeling, what they're thinking, what they're bringing into the room. But eventually you have to come home to yourself, to your own heart, to your own intuition, your own inner knowing. And when I talk about your spirit, I'm not talking about another spirit outside of you. I'm talking about you, the spiritual being underneath all of the roles that you've created. The part of you that is deeper than your personality, deeper than your conditioning, deeper than other people's expectations of you. And this is what I mean by becoming your true self. You're not becoming someone completely different. You're becoming more fully yourself. You become more aligned with your spirit within you. You become your spirit, and that spirit can guide you through your life and help you make the right decisions. So just pause with that for a second. So have you ever felt uncomfortable around someone before they'd actually done anything to you, or felt completely at ease around someone almost immediately? And you just notice that feeling. So you don't need to look outside of yourself for every answer. Part of spiritual awakening for me is learning to listen to your own inner knowing, to recognize the difference between fear, conditioning, and other people's expectations, and that quieter voice inside you, your intuition. And this is what self-realization means to me. It's becoming more aware of who you truly are, realizing your potential and becoming the woman you actually want to be, not the woman you've been told you should be, not the woman other people expect you to be, but the woman you feel you're capable of becoming. And I think that's what spiritual awakening really is. You don't become someone else, you become more fully yourself. I think back to that auditorium. Yes, it was overwhelming, but it was beautiful, because sensitivity doesn't only mean feeling the different things. It means being able to experience beauty, connection, love, joy, and sometimes more deeply too. And that's why I don't want you to see your sensitivity as something you need to get rid of. So I want you to understand it, because maybe being spiritual isn't about becoming some extraordinary person. Maybe being spiritual is actually just becoming more fully you. More conscious, more connected, more compassionate, more yourself. So if you've got this far, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to feel the chair beneath you. I want you to feel the weight of your body in that chair, and I want you to put your hands out, open, just in front of you on your lap. And just notice, what are you feeling right now? Don't try to change it or understand it. But just notice, and then ask yourself, is what I'm feeling mine? You don't have to answer. Just notice what happens when you ask the question. It's interesting. It's good to feel. You see, your sensitivity isn't your weakness. It's one of the greatest gifts you have ever been given. And you simply haven't learned how to understand it yet or work with it. And if something in this video made you think, maybe I'm too much, maybe there's nothing wrong with me, then that's exactly why I make these videos, because the more deeply you know yourself, the more you begin to understand who you're becoming. Not someone else, but more fully yourself, who you're meant to be, your true self, the spirit. And perhaps that's what spiritual awakening is. Becoming the woman you are capable of becoming, listening to your spirit, realizing your potential, and learning to live from that deeper part of you. And if that's you, welcome. I'd love you to stay, watch more of my content, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.